All right.
All right. Well, you guys have not seen this in how many months?
How many? I think it's literally been since March,
Since March.
Lit-
And we are now your less known podcasters.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't posted a podcast in ages. I mean, we did a new form during the coronavirus.
Exactly. Went virtual for that.
Went virtual for that. But today, because of how the restrictions are in the current time we're in, we're able to do this. We don't know how much longer we can do this.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm really happy to be sitting here with the setup.
Trust me, it's mad. The last episode we did in person was with Mei Ying in March.
And how was it?
That was at Canary Wharf. I was still doing my master's degree, and that's no more now.
Life has changed then.
Fam,
God damn.
so much.
So before we get started, please do check out Rafe Energy. Fuel your day with Rafe. Use code CULTURE at checkout. So that's CULTR at checkout and get 10% off.
Make sure to do that. And also for all the listeners out there, remember that we are also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So if you want to check it out, it will be up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as soon as this goes live on YouTube. So what do we have today?
In today's one, we have come to talk about something that's relevant right now,
of course,
which is university being online. Are you getting your money's worth?
Yeah, and I think that's a massive topic of discussion. Nobody saw how this year was going to change and flip on its head. I mean, like I was saying, the last face-to-face contact I had was in March when we did our last podcast episode in person. We had a guest on. Now we can't do that face-to-face. And
forget about guests. Like, we can't even meet up.
We can't even meet up, exactly.
Us, and we don't know how much longer
thinking
we can,
about the repercussions, if you have elderly people at home, if you have, family with conditions. So also studying as well. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
We're in a weird moment right now. So like, I've got two sisters who are at university right now. Yeah. And one's in first, one's in second. Like, they've just started that this year. And like seeing my sister going into first year, it's mad because first year for me was literally going into uni.
Yep, freshers week,
freshers fair, meeting up with friends.
Nando's every single day of the week.
Which was not the most
was not the most, but Nando's, shout out. Waiting on the black card. Waiting on the black card.
But like, seeing her go through like freshers, but all virtually, is mad. Like, what was that uni that posted a video of that Sims virtual?
Oh my days. Uni of Southampton or Sunderland, yeah. Sunderland or Southampton. Shout out to you, man, yeah. Because a virtual Sims thing you did. In fact, I'm going to plug it in this video. Yeah?
It's nice.
We're going to plug it. It's just the best thing I've ever seen.
I love it.
You, man, have got students playing Sims. Never seen anything like it. Innovation.
Were they actually playing Sims?
Innovation. They were playing Sims.
What, full on? Because they had to go around.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, like, my sister, with her freshers, it's been like, they created a group chat, which you do anyway. And then from that, people have been talking to each other on there. And like from that, they will obviously start creating their it's like virtual groups now. It's weird.
Yeah,
like,
everything.
I think they've had some icebreakers as well on Zoom.
Imagine doing icebreakers. The whole point of icebreakers is that you're talking to someone and
Yeah, so they'll do it on Zoom. Mad. I think I saw like obviously they'll have one person introduce themselves and talk and whatnot, and then everyone else is muted. And it's like going around like that, but it's like all done virtually, which for me was like, my whole freshers week was like, I need to be there, be around people, because everything's just so new. Like, I need to go and see what's going on. But
man, do you know what? And we can talk about this on various levels. Having university online, like what we're just touching on now, is in terms of the personal, person-to-person level. Yeah, there's so much anxiety when you come to uni that you're anxious about meeting new people. Talking to people. If you have, a certain kind of anxiety, sometimes to break out of your shell is difficult. And already, just for all students across the board, it's not the easiest experience. So now having to do that online, and I know for most courses, they have lectures like maybe twice every like 5, 6, 7 weeks. It's going to be harder to meet people and to get to know everyone.
You said anxiety. That brings me on to the point. Like, so obviously when it's first year, naturally your course is not as intense as the years go on, right? Yeah. So like, first year, you're almost finding yourself still, right? And university allows you to do that. So with how we're going on, I don't know, maybe it might not be the case, but it's looking like by second year, maybe universities will start opening up a bit more. Yeah. Do you think it's really bad that, because at the moment everyone's behind their phones, so the level of, level of meeting new people, that sort of anxiety is not there. But what if it hits in second year?
This is the thing.
That's when second year is when it starts to get more serious.
This is the thing. Like, And I encourage people to try and, as safely as possible, but go to as many events. For example, I know that at UCL, because I just finished my master's, but I'm technically not, like, my course hasn't ended yet, and I haven't done my graduation yet. So I'm still part of some group chat. So I know some events are still going on for like sports and things like that.
Okay, sports, yeah.
So if you have moved into your uni,
are they smaller numbers?
They're smaller numbers,
okay,
yeah. They're typically smaller numbers.
Okay.
Try and go to those, because if you end up sitting at home and regressing and, letting that anxiety get to you, it will be harder down the line, I feel. Yeah. So it's really important to try and get out, even though it's scary times we live in. But
it's just mad. Yeah. It's just like when I was in first year, our friendship group, just like it was different, because it was like I was with because me and you obviously came from year 7 knowing each other, but we also discovered our own friends.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And then we kind of joined that group together. Do you think it's going to be a massive issue that people are not able to, because you have to make friends? I personally don't feel like you can just, obviously you can make friends over the internet, but
it's not the same.
Yeah, do you know? And then another one would be, how can you hold someone accountable when it comes to group courseworks, for instance?
Oh my word!
We had, our course was I don't know how other people's courses are, but if it's all online, they could just literally not respond. Don't start with me, fam. Don't start with me.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that?
some tech. God damn! We have someone. We have Paddy, our manager.
Our manager Paddy.
Our manager Paddy.
He's checking out cars, new whips.
Paddy, can we continue, Paddy?
Do you want to hop on the mic? All right, cool.
Okay. Well, Paddy's our manager, so we got a manager.
So we got a manager.
We'll get into that later.
Paddy the manager, but we'll get into that.
Paddy the manager, he looks after us really well. But yeah, I was saying, like, so the friend aspect, making friends, and that. Also, I was talking about coursework, wasn't I?
Yeah.
So how are people getting around that? Or I don't know. I haven't heard from my sister, but have they changed how they're doing coursework? Are they more individual now?
So I think it will depend on the course, but I feel like for IMB it stayed mainly the same.
Okay.
But I think for IMB the goal was always to try and have more individual coursework, because the group dynamic it's chaos and people just leave to go, to different countries. But the one positive, like one of the positive outlooks from this is, I think it might encourage people to make friends with the people in their course more, because those are the people you're stuck with. If you're not out meeting new friends, those are the people you will have in your lectures.
You know what?
Those are the people you have to speak to.
Well, you're not wrong, actually, because I'm thinking about it. Some people have more confidence over making friendship over the phone, because it's not a face-to-face. Because some people are more comfortable without being face-to-face.
Exactly.
So maybe you break the barrier while you're texting or whatever, and then it makes it easier when you meet.
When you meet in person, it might do. And then the other thing to talk about is, in terms of learning, how difficult, like,
lectures
on the other end of that, how difficult it's going to be to learn. And I don't think this will be for everybody. For someone like me, my word, this summer, trying to do my dissertation during lockdown with no motivation, we're in the comfort of my home, with my PS4 looking at me, with my PC looking at me, just wanting to chill. That was the most difficult thing. I kid you not, like, I could not get myself motivated to just do the work.
So it's like you have to almost 100% now be accountable for yourself, because when university was open, there was lectures and seminars. You'd have a timetable where you'd have to be A, B, or C, and like the most of our ones, the registers and stuff.
Yeah,
and you'd get emails saying, why didn't you turn up? So it's more now. It's like it's on you, kind of thing.
Exactly.
It literally is just on you to like do the learning. But do you think that makes people? Do you think we pay 9K? Internationals pay more. I don't know the exact figures.
Yeah, it's like up to 20 probably, or 15.
What, per year?
Yeah.
20 bags?
Yeah, can you imagine, fam? It's mad.
I'll stay home.
Bro, no way.
But anyway, do you think you're missing, like, do you think to pay that much for a virtual course, do you think that is like absurd?
Do you know what, I think having your undergrad experience is extremely important. Forget about your grades and career prospects, even just in terms of personal development. I think whether you liked uni or not, if you went through the 3 years, even if you didn't like your course, there's a lot of friends you might have made, there's a lot of personal development you might have had. But when I deep it, a lot of those benefits can't really be had if it's virtual and you're not being able to get out as much. Like,
because it wasn't one of the main takeaways from uni, the networking opportunities we had.
This is what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, my master's degree ran me into the ground financially. Like, if I'm gonna be real with it, like right now my life is, as Paddy would say, UC and chill. Like, not Netflix and chill, universal credit and chill. That's my life right now. Like, realistically, I haven't had the opportunity to get a graduate job that's lined up, so I'm going straight into that.
A lot of people that had graduate jobs have been rejected now because it's been put on the shelf.
Some people have, exactly. Yeah. And also shout out to, like, there's bare people at UCL, friends of mine who have gotten like mad graduate jobs, or they've gone on to further master studies at like Oxbridge and stuff like that. People are doing mad bits, but that's what I'm saying. So in terms of my masters, I saw the value in the network more than actually the course content. I was broke when I decided to do my masters and spent my last amount of money on that masters because of the network.
Your network is your net worth.
Exactly. Yo, quote that, please. Yeah. You're literally, your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
Like, especially at a point where we don't have money like that.
Yeah.
I understood that doing an entrepreneurship course at UCL, at the School of Management, I'd be surrounded by people who, you know, these are entrepreneurs who have had businesses for years and would be able to, you know, impart knowledge onto me that will be truly valuable, and I'll always 100%. Be able to speak to them or connect with them if I need to, as well as my peers and a lot of the people that are on the course. So
yeah, I think a lot of people, I don't know if it is a lot of people, but for a lot of what I have seen, so whatever I say is my opinion, a lot of people go to university thinking it's you're getting it for a job, or you're getting it because you're going to you're just going to go get a job afterwards.
Yeah.
But the value, I will personally say, it wasn't even for getting a job. The value I realized I got after uni finished was the network I had created from uni, the people that I had met, even the lecturers that I had met that I'm still in contact with now, like shout out Declan and all those guys.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, that's why I almost feel like you pay 9K to go to university, but you can't go into university because of the current situation.
Yeah.
Is that you just like paying for nothing then?
Honestly, when you deep it, and this is not to say it's not amazing to get into your UCLs, Imperials, Oxbridge, so on and so forth, prestigious unis, MIT, whatever it may be, because it is an achievement, because you know they are extremely selective, elitist, so on and so forth. So you have to work really hard to get there.
100%.
But on the face of things, let's be real, they are institutions that are really selling a name. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing at the end of the day. Not all of the courses there are going to be great. Mm-hmm. Our undergraduate degree was not great, but the uni is known to be a great uni. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
So it is literally exactly what you said. Like, for me, then the value lies on the people that are there and what you can learn from them and the lecturers. And in a weird way, actually, I think by having things virtually, they might be able to tailor content better and get better feedback, and also have more, because like people, let's be honest, we spend most of our time on YouTube and on Netflix and stuff watching content that sits there. I feel like they'll be able to create stuff. Hopefully lecturers can spend the time doing that, creating stuff for students.
Do you know, remember when we were at uni?
Yeah.
Be honest, we're out of uni now, so it doesn't necessarily matter anymore, but all the lectures we went to, how many of them did you actually sit there and write notes for?
Fam,
be honest.
Do you know how
I'll be honest
peak
as well.
it is? Every single year, I kid you not, every single year I tell Shuhan and Paddy, look, this is the year, innit? I come to class, run down to the front of the class. I'm like, today it's not back of the bus flipping antics, back of the bus antics. Yeah, I remember that. I'm going to the front, I'm opening my notebook. You lot don't chat to me. Don't talk to me. This is a serious thing. I'm on my crud mode.
Yeah.
Open the book, 2 seconds in, these man are busted up laughing. Close the book, end of the year, no notes done. Last week revision. Do the exam.
But this is what I mean, bro. So like,
it's just mad.
we had those lectures where we were in person. We were going to them. Yeah. Me as a person, if someone talks to me for longer than 60 seconds, you've lost me. I've heard everything you said in 60 seconds to me. Yeah. Anything after that 60 seconds,
lost.
But I'm not listening. I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah.
So like when I went to lectures, firstly they were going too fast through the slides for me to even take notes. Mm-hmm. Secondly, they'll say that well, the slides will be up, but there's no recording of the lecture up.
Yeah.
So, but it's different when someone is talking you through slides and you reading yourself. But the only thing is, it's hard for me to grasp all the information while I'm in the lecture. So I would have preferred it to, be online, sitting there waiting for me. So I'm thinking an advantage from this situation is that all the lecturers are doing it online, so they're all stored online.
Yeah,
because I saw my sister after they're done, they're just left there. So like you go into like week 1 and there's a video of the whole lecture
left there.
You can just like sit at any time you want.
And that's good because
some of the ones we had before, I couldn't do that. The lecturer would be like, oh yeah, the lecture slides are available, and I'd go home and I'd just open it. For me, it's just a bunch of text and pictures in a slideshow.
Yeah, fam.
Obviously, people say, "Oh, why don't you utilize a lecture?" But like I said, 60 seconds is
literally short.
So can you imagine we had 2-hour lectures? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
So 2 hours. How many seconds is in 2 hours? Paddy, I might please. Can you research for us on your phone quickly?
How many seconds in? Yeah.
How many seconds in 2 hours?
Yeah. All my lectures were 3 hours this year. Every single lecture was 3 hours.
So, but let's do it based off
2 hours.
Third year together. So 2 hours. How many seconds in 2 hours? Our manager, he's learning the role.
Yeah, he's learning the ropes.
Learning the ropes.
Make sure to switch your mic on. Pon the mic.
Yeah, put your mic. Let the people hear.
Let the people know.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness,
Chesty.
What was the question?
So how many seconds are there in 2 hours?
7,200 seconds.
7,200 seconds. And can you imagine, out of the 7,200 seconds, I've only heard 60 seconds of it. No, deep it, bro.
Deep it.
What do you think about
deep it?
Am I wrong? So, Paddy, when you know what, Mizano, when you were in lectures, right?
Paddy.
How much, were you the sort of person that took notes?
I mean, I tried to.
But like, what would you say, like what was your experience in lectures? Was it was the lecture too fast? Did you prefer to watch? Because only some had lecture class. Remember, not all of our lectures.
And the thing is, we were lucky, to be honest. IMB had a lot of there's some archaic courses out there that there's no lecture class at all.
But we only had a minimal, man. It wasn't like every.
Yeah, it wasn't every. Yeah,
class. And sometimes they'd say it'd be on and it didn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
So what was your lecture experience?
I mean, at first I was pretty enthusiastic. I'll make notes.
Yeah,
I'll be typing out God knows words per minute on my keyboard trying to make notes. But
that's all you heard in lecture,
Yeah, that kind of waned really quickly.
Yeah.
But it came back sometimes. But I'd say most of the time, I don't think I was actively making notes. If it was a 3-hour lecture, where a lot of it's just a long monologue about 1-2 things. Innovation management, for example.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't make notes. I would leave at half time.
Half time. Refreshments.
During the break.
Okay.
I'd find my way out of there.
Find your way out.
If it was a 3-hour lecture and I'd suss out, well, maybe not suss out, but I'd sort of decide if I'm going to stay in the lecture really quickly.
That's a good that's a good tactic, And I'm not saying, look, this was just our experience at university. Yeah, if you want to do well, I wouldn't say 100% this is what we're saying, but I get what you mean. If it's a 3-hour lecture, you sit in for the first hour because they give you a break per hour, right? When it's a long lecture.
Yeah.
Sit in for the first hour because usually after that you can suss out whether this lecture is going to be important to sit in or whether you'll be fine to leave. So usually that's why I'd suss it out. That's a good point that you made there.
I mean, whether or not the lecture is important, it's the assignment or whatever assessment you have for that module or whatever is the main thing.
Yeah.
And if you can figure out whether the stuff you're going to learn in the 2 hours is going to help you achieve, what you want to do in the assignment, then go ahead, go listen to the whole thing. But if there's no link, which, it sounds crazy, it's a lecture about a module where you have an exam and there might not even be much relevance within that lecture.
No, that's true as well, yeah.
If you can find that out, then you can, I wouldn't say skip, but you can not watch it live and then
covering his track.
Use your time another way.
Yeah.
Because everything's recorded, hopefully should be now that it's
I think
online.
it is. I've seen most of my sisters.
Then it should be easier to sort of catch up on stuff you've missed.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? In that aspect, for me personally, I feel like you guys are gaining something, honestly, because you have in your own time you can go over that recording on that lecture and take your notes. You know what I mean? Exactly. And when it comes to exam season, if you do need to go for an explanation in a video, you can.
Yeah.
In all lectures we had that.
Because like we've said already, having someone talk at you, when you don't get to decide when you watch that is annoying. and then you're telling me because I didn't catch all of that thing you just said to me, I then need to go home and listen to that. I'm not gonna do that. So having it in the comfort of your home or wherever you are and being able to just watch that is a mad benefit.
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing was there was I can't. This is just my experience though. I can't pinpoint one time where I needed to be in a lecture to help me, which sounds so mad and so bad.
Sounds terrible.
It does. It does. I want to be honest, but I don't think I can't remember a lecture that I had to be in that
you felt like you needed
to be that would really help me.
But in hindsight, there'll be like one thing said at like 1 hour 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing.
Has like something that
this is what this guy always
helps you
uses.
figure out coursework.
No, this is what this guy. No, shush.
Before
you get going, we would go into it like a 3-hour lecture, yeah, and we'd be ready to cut because we're like, it's been an hour, nothing too interesting. He'd be like, nah, bro, maybe in the next 5 minutes he might say something interesting, or maybe not 20 more minutes, maybe he might. And by the time you know it, it's been 3 hours, and we've sat through that, and he said nothing.
Yeah,
you used to do that all the time.
But it's true. You truly never know, fam. And then trying to leech the information of somebody else, you never know. That's why you need to have a certain group of people, like just around. So if you know some people are gonna stay later, you have them there to pick up the info. What you need to do is make a small circle of friends, virtually or non-virtual. Yeah. So if you have something to do in the first hour, you do that. Then your friend gets on in the second hour. You take notes, you share. Yeah. That's how you should do it.
But the whole point of that was basically is that a point I was making is, a lot of people are arguing that because they're not doing face-to-face lectures or they're not meeting the lecturers in person, that they're missing out and they're paying 9K for no reason. But I feel like because of how technology is, the lecturers are able to do online classes, leave it recorded for you. I feel like you're gaining some more.
I feel like you're getting a bit more of an advantage. But it also does depend on how you learn. But I don't know anyone that will complain about rewatching a lecture. No, I don't think so. And just having, some people did not have that option last year, and that's crazy to say. They had no option of doing online.
Did you utilize LectureCast when you were in uni?
I mean, if it wasn't for the recorded lectures.
Sorry, a bit of technical glitch, but my question before that was to our manager. It was, have you utilised LectureCast? Did you utilise LectureCast?
Of course. If it wasn't for LectureCast, I wouldn't have passed all my exams. But the thing is, LectureCast wasn't used for every single module.
Okay.
And it wouldn't always be available soon after. Sometimes it would be 2 weeks before you could even access the lecture.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff you miss. So the LectureCast would be exactly 2 hours, and then afterwards, if the lecture overran or if the guy was talking about some extra stuff about the coursework, that's stuff you'd be missing out on. But so that's sort of why it is important to attend. And I mean, if you're there in person, you can go up to the lecturer and ask questions. I don't know how it would work now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once your lecture's up online, the lecturer just wants to.
I think we started using that a lot as well, but I think there'll be a big emphasis on forums. Do you remember we had that one course that we'd have to speak on forums a lot? I think the way technology is right now, right? The way everything we can do online, Zoom and online classes and stuff, I think university would eventually, I'm not saying it will, but with anything in life right now, any physical destinations are becoming obsolete. Everything is moving online, and even teaching and learning is moving online.
Oh no! Look, I'll tell you what. Of course,
I'll
tell you what. I'll tell you what to do. Yeah, all right.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what I was gonna say. No, legit. I was gonna say this. Yeah. Universities will be mad happy right now because if you've been seeing the nonsense that these unis have been doing, online MBA 55K for 2 years at UCL. Are you bugging?
Yeah.
They've always wanted to go the online route because that means there's no capacity limit for students.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Endless.
There's none. It's endless. Imagine charging 40,000 people 55K. Are you dumb?
Streaming
You
service.
can just stream that to them, moving like Netflix, but on some dumb prices. So they'll definitely be happy because now they're pushing the limit of their online infrastructure in unforeseen circumstances.
But a lot of work needs to happen with their
But it means now they're forced to just do it. And
because I remember my sister had a couple of lectures cancelled because the teacher couldn't figure out how to use.
That's what I'm saying.
What they were. So I think the
IT
technician. I think the lecturers need to be trained.
Yeah, because they'll need training.
But for me, my whole point around that was that I don't think you guys are missing like that 9K you're paying. If your emphasis is purely on having to be in and around university, then you could say you're paying 9K just to do something online. However, when you're just thinking about the learning aspect, I think you're still getting the same kind of learning. It's not face to face, but the more you get more resources, like you have more access to stuff rather than missing information from being in a lecture.
I think that's like perfectly correct. I think the emphasis is on how you are as a worker.
Yeah,
are you a top tier bang out? Which I feel like at our uni there's a lot of top tier bang outs.
I hope you guys are all top.
I hope you're all top tier.
I want to see you do
outs.
well.
Exactly. We want to see you get high places. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Paddy, prosperity,
peace and prosperity.
You know what I mean? Do you have any words on that prosperity and peace? You don't. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's legit what I'm saying. So like that's what we all want to strive for. So it depends on what kind of learner you are. I'd say I would not do well at that at all based on how this summer went with my dissertation.
You had experience towards the end of
do you know what I mean? Like even though I was living at home during uni for the last 3 years, my home was comfort. Like I would stay at uni till 2 a.m. and then go home, and that's my chill zone. And then tell me after 3 years I finally get to stay at home for a prolonged period during the summer. Then telling me I have to do my dissertation.
Nah, man.
I was listening to lectures online because technically my lectures finished just before. I had like 3 lectures.
Yeah, I remember, and then it hit.
Yeah. But then I had dissertation lectures during the summer. Man was listening to my lectures in the car on the Bluetooth dongle like it's a podcast. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not for me. Like it's just not how. Of course, I'd probably adapt, and all of you who may not think it's for you will adapt. But in terms of resources, like you're saying, it is all there, we're not losing out in that sense.
So, me, I would say on the learning front, I don't think you are. The only thing I think you guys are missing out, and I think you do pay for this aspect as well, is you're missing out on the social aspect.
Yeah.
And I think that 9K doesn't just for us 9K, obviously international's more. Some of the money you pay is for this like socializing.
Of course,
So I do think you're missing out on that. And I'm not even gonna
this won't apply to people who live in halls because you'll still have your people with you. But for people like us who all lived at home, because moving out was just too expensive or too much, and we have family. It's a lot more. It would be a lot more difficult for people like us who don't have the luxury of just moving out of their yard to go live somewhere where you're surrounded by people. So if you are one of those people, try push out of that comfort zone and go to events where it's safe to do so and where it's permitted, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that will really help settle into uni, and it will be calm at the end of the day.
Do you have any departing words?
I mean, I'm hearing 2 things. So it sounds like online teaching sounds like a good thing. Everyone's going to adapt. The teachers will have this like 1 year to kind of get used to it and learn everything. And then you mentioned earlier that you lose out on the sort of social aspect.
Networking aspect.
But you seem to emphasize that like the social part is a big part, and because you're losing out on it, it might not be as worth it.
But I think the social and networking aspect is part of a uni life. It is what uni is. I think you can't just you know what I mean? Like when you think about university, you don't just think about I'm going there for straight on education. A lot of people go to university because they want to meet people as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think it is a very big part.
Yeah, like it's all full circle of universities. Like think about all of the people who graduate from UCL who come back to do talks on how to get into consulting or finance, or who launch businesses, especially people on my course who win prizes and get mentioned and get their business promoted. Like it's all full circle with universities. So having that without the personal aspect will be tough.
It's tough, but obviously you can you'll get through it.
It will be,
But I think overall, I just think it depends on how you make your time now. It depends on how you utilize your experience. So it depends on you. The way you go about your uni life right now is dependent on you, obviously, and that will show upon the 9K that you're paying.
Yeah, it's definitely the most expensive video streaming service you will pay for.
What do you think?
That's standard.
Would you pay
Are you getting out of your bed to sit on your desk, or are you gonna open up your lecture on your phone?
That was me. Let me keep it real with you. Yeah, I opened up my lecture. I was on the toilet. I was in the car.
Toilet.
I was on the toilet. I was in the car. Everything.
Yeah.
Like that's just me keeping it real. Like that's just. But you know, just try to be a top tier bang out.
Yeah.
That's how you push yourself.
Our question was, is it a waste of money? My answer to that is no. I think everyone should adapt and, change to the circumstances we're all in, because everyone's had to do that everywhere. Businesses, just people you can't see your family. Like, you know the whole shenanigans we're in right now. So I think overall, I don't think it's a waste of money. Yeah. I think everyone should try their best, be top tier bang outs, as Josh loves to mention. Top tier. And I think you'll be all good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Just make the most, literally draw as much money out of that uni you can, because for real, I'm not getting them student finance messages anymore, and they're saddening. There's only benefits, universal credit. I missed those texts,
My bank
student finance is dropping in 3 days. I missed those texts. Student finance.
Which Nando's going to go to when?
Sponsor my PhD, I beg.
Little cry out there. No, but it was nice. It was nice to finally be back in front of these beautiful mics. To introduce our manager again, Paddy, Mizzle Paddy.
Okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. Oh God. But like I said at the start of the video, we don't know how many more of these episodes we can do, because we're literally going off what the government guidelines are. Yeah. And I know you guys love our episodes when we have guests on. Again, it's the whole, because we can't guarantee who's been where, testing this and that. So meeting up with like guests and anything for now is total no. But we'll try and find a way.
Yeah.
If it means having to go virtual again, we'll try and improve it. But other than that, I'm really happy to be back. I've missed you. As well.
I miss you, man.
I miss you man, a lot.
I miss you guys.
I miss you. Yeah, no. Honestly, we just haven't been active because of the circumstances. It's been hard. But I feel like now that we're a bit more free, we are at home more. I think it's time to take CultrTalk to another level.
Back to the levs. Back to the
levs.
Back to the
levs. We ain't left. We're still in front of your screens.
Never left.
But yeah, I think we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Yeah, in a bit.